All right, Alexander, let's do a real quick video update because we haven't had a chance to touch on this story on former FBI lawyer Kevin Clinesmith and the fact that he is expected to plead guilty to falsifying a document to justify the FISAs and the FISAs on the Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, and what many people consider the launch pad for the Obamagate hoax, and I do call it the Obamagate hoax at this moment in time. Real quick, Alexander, what do you think of this story? Here's what Devin Nunes said, and then I pass it off to you. He said this during a Fox and Friends interview. I think that Durham is letting him off extremely easy. There's multiple indictments that could have been brought, probably including conspiracy and including destruction of evidence. So my guess is maybe he's going to cooperate. Maybe he's not. But this is a good first step. And two sources from Fox News do confirm that Clinesmith will plead guilty. So Alexander, what do you make of this?
I think he will plead guilty, and I think he is cooperating. And I agree, by the way, that this is almost the mildest charge that could have been brought against him. But I am sure that's because there's been a plea bargain, and that he's now negotiated a plea bargain, and he's going to give information to the Justice Department, to Durham, about other things. We should not underestimate the importance of this. There's two things to understand about Clinesmith. The first is that he's an important FBI attorney. What he's going to plead guilty to is something which in and of itself is very serious, which is that he faked emails from the CIA, which said that Carter Page, who was the target of these illegal FISA warrants based on Christopher Steele's dossier, if you remember. Anyway, that Carter Page, these emails from the CIA said Carter Page is a source, and Clinesmith altered the emails. He actually changed the wording of the emails themselves to make it that the CIA was denying that Carter Page was a source. So that is a very serious thing to do. I mean, it is not just, it's obviously a forgery, and it is a forgery intended to pervert the course of justice and to obtain an illegal warrant on an illegal surveillance warrant on a completely innocent man who is a patriot, who has served his country, including by providing information about Russia to the CIA. Now, that is one thing, but there is something else about this story which is very, very interesting. And only Andrew McCarthy has understood this. But the indictment of Clinesmith, which is a very brief, factual indictment, the kind of indictment I like, by the way, not these ridiculous indictments that Mueller and Weissman used to churn out, which read more like something out of a thriller. This is a real indictment. But what it reveals is that Crossfire Hurricane, this FBI's Russiagate investigation, which was launched on July 31st, 2016, was a criminal probe from the start. The FBI has pretended up to now that it was purely at the beginning a counterintelligence probe, and that it only somehow became a criminal probe around the time when Robert Mueller was appointed. In fact, it was a criminal probe right from the beginning, and it was based on FARA, that's the Foreign Agents Registration Act, the implication of that being that Donald Trump and or his campaign were unregistered foreign agents of Russia. So that is what Russiagate was. It's clearly set out in the indictment. That is what they were trying to pin on Donald Trump and his campaign, that he was an agent of Russia and that he was violating the FARA legislation, and if possibly they would have got more things as well. So it was both a criminal probe and it was a counterintelligence probe. The counterintelligence aspect of it is important also because it meant that in order to get surveillance of Trump, Donald Trump and the other people in his campaign. They didn't have to go through the normal court process. They could simply do it by going to the FISA court, where Clinesmith was obviously forging documents to get these illegal warrants. So it's a very important, very serious case. I said there would be indictments in August. We've now got one. We're going to have a guilty plea in a very short time. I am sure that Clinesmith is cooperating, and much more is to come.
All right. So you're sure Clinesmith is cooperating?
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Roger Stone, who also believes the same as you, that he is cooperating. But Roger Stone believes, after looking at what's going on in this case and how Durham is handling it, in Roger Stone's opinion, he believes that Clinesmith, with working with Durham, will be able to get a lot of the lower level FBI guys indicted, but he believes that the DOJ will not, for various reasons, will not go after the McCabe's and the Comeys and the Brennans and the Clappers and the higher ups. Roger Stone believes that the Clinesmith guilty plea and his cooperation will nab a lot of the lower guys, maybe the Strzucks, but they won't be able to get the higher ups. What do you make of that?
I hope he's wrong. I'm afraid he may be right. I mean, I don't know what is in Durham's mind. Barr has spoken in ways that suggest that they are not going to target the top people. I think it would be a great shame if they didn't target the top people, because if we're talking about James Comey and McCabe, to be absolutely clear, they were in it up to their ears. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were definitely involved in all these terrible activities. There's no doubt about it. Comey himself was carrying out surveillance of Trump and was investigating Trump. That's what all those meetings were when he was going off and making all those notes. It was a form of surveillance of Trump. He knew exactly what he was doing. McCabe knew exactly what they were doing. And I'm afraid if they're not indicted, then it will be a very bad thing for the United States of America. That's my view. And I'm not, by the way, somebody who is vengeful. I don't believe in, prosecuting people when one doesn't have to. But in this case, given that we're talking about the most important law enforcement officers in the United States who have acted in a completely wrong and illegal way, I think if no action is taken against them, then it will be very bad for the American people and for the United States. I still have hopes it will be otherwise, but we shall see.
All right, one final quick question. Do you believe that they went after Clinesmith and he's the first shoe to drop because his case was the easiest to go after?
Yes, because
it was cut and dry.
It was cut and dry. There was no way around it. I mean, the fact is he faked the email. I mean, there's no question about this. He faked an email from the CIA in order to get a warrant, a surveillance warrant against an innocent man. It couldn't be more simple. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, we'll leave it there and we'll be following this story. We just wanted to get a real quick video out to you guys because we haven't had a chance. The news flow has been
phenomenal.
A lot of stuff that we're combing through and preparing for videos for the week. But we wanted to get this story out to you. And of course, we will be covering this story as we have always been covering this story from the very beginning. Alexander McCurse, thank you very much. Real quick, guys, PayPal, Patreon, Subscribe Star. Please donate to us, help us out. And of course, Duran Shop. Here is my England Magic mug, Alexander.
And here's my US Magic mug, the best mugs in the world. And if you go to our shop, you will find great things that Alex has got there. Amazing shirts, amazing mugs, wonderful embroidered hats, and an ever-expanding gallery of ebooks too. So come to our shop, support the Duran, and help this channel.
All right. And also subscribe. Click that subscribe down below and smash that like. Drop us a comment. Alexander McCurse, thank you very much.